Relationships at Work, a leadership podcast helping you build workplace connection, improve culture, and avoid blind spots. I'm your host, Russel Lolacher, communications leadership expert, a couple of decades of experience in both those areas, and a whole heap of curiosity just like you on how we can make the workplace better. It's time for a mini episode. These tiny, teeny, eensy, beensy parts of your day, usually about 10 minutes or so. You're just quick and valuable bits of information to help your mindset for the week ahead. It's a little special in this one because I'm talking about rethinking and reintroducing the show because we're going to start with a brand new format. We're going to get into all of that. So like I said, the episode's a little different. There's no guest as per usual. The mini episodes generally don't have guests. It's just me talking directly to you because I wanted to walk through something new, something exciting. And honestly, it feels like a logical next evolution of the show. Now, before we dive into any of the changes, I want to share where this all started and why relationships at work has become one of the most transformative experiences of my professional life. When I first launched this podcast, we're going on 3.5 years now, it wasn't about building a platform. It was about answering an honest question. And honesty has certainly been a through line through the entire show. What does leadership actually do to the employee experience? That's the question I wanted to answer, for good and for bad. Not what it says on the posters, not what it says on the websites, not what the CEO repeats at town halls or executive perpetuates in their emails. What does leadership actually look like? What does it actually feel like day to day? Through its actions, through its silence, through its impact. That curiosity really lit my fuse. I started having conversations with executive coaches, culture experts, DEI practitioners, employees on the front line. And over time, it's become more than a podcast. It's kind of become sort of a classroom, a learning lab, as it will. Hosting the show has fundamentally changed how I think, how I lead, and how I listen. It's made me more aware of the leadership blind spots that organizations have that maybe I wasn't even looking for. And I know I'm not alone in that. You've certainly told me how much this has meant to you, which is why I wanted to make the show even more useful for you. So here's what's new. Here's what's changing. And this is based on feedback I've gotten straight from you on how I can make this more consumable, more helpful, more valuable for you. Moving forward, every guest conversation will be broken into 4 shorter episodes, and they're going to be released across the week. Each one will be around 10 to 15 minutes, about that, tight, focused, and centered on a single theme. It's all grounded in a structure that's already at the heart of what this podcast stands for. 4 key themes that we've been threading through our conversations all along. So this is not anything new in that way. But now we're naming them. We're being more clear. So you can get exactly what you need when you need it. So here's the breakdown. Mondays are going to be about clarity. We've started this podcast about definitions. They became very important throughout the breadth of the show. And I think we still need to stay there. Clarity is so important when we talk about leadership, when we talk about getting better, when we talk about understanding and singing from the same song sheet. This is where we define what we're actually talking about because leadership concepts can get fuzzy fast. Everyone has a different take on what engagement means, what diversity means, what accountability means. This episode on Mondays will set the stage. No assumptions, just shared understanding. Tuesdays will be relationship with self. Before we can lead others, we have to lead ourselves. We have to know ourselves. As I've often talked about on this show, 3 cornerstones of leadership: self-awareness, situational awareness, communication. This is focusing on that self-awareness piece and the relationship we have with ourselves. This is a theme about doing self-work, managing our triggers, unpacking our habits, understanding our motivations. It's personal, but it's also leadership work. Wednesdays, all about the team. So it's going to be focusing on a relationship with those we're responsible for. We're going to dig into how we show up for others, our teams, our peers, the people we count on and that count on us. From building trust to giving feedback to navigating conflict, this is where connection either thrives or breaks down. And Thursday will be about larger relationships, organizational culture. The big picture. How do we take the lessons and insights from the individual level and embed them into our organizations? How do we handle them when they influence our work life and we have no control over the culture, the larger culture? That's systems we're talking about, norms, policies, rituals, the stuff that builds or breaks a culture. Now, why am I splitting it up this way? Because it makes it easier to find what matters most to you right now. Maybe you're struggling with self-doubt. That's relationship with self. Maybe you're trying to get your team to communicate better. Well, that's relationship with team. That's Wednesdays. Or maybe you're trying to shift how your organization handles change. That's culture. By carving out these focused episodes, you get clarity and you get actionable, bite-sized chunks. It's leadership learning you can actually use. So it's about mindset, but it's also things we can actually do. However you're listening to it, whether it's walking the dog, during your commute, or in between meetings. And of course, at the heart of it all, these are still honest conversations with brilliant people from around the world. That hasn't changed. If anything, this new format will actually give their insights more space to breathe. And then there's Fridays. I know you're wondering about Fridays. We're keeping the solo episodes. We're just moving them from Thursday to Friday. That's still me. That's me showing up with a shorter episode, usually around 10 minutes or less. It'll still be my observations, my reflections from what I've heard or read or discussed with you. Ideas that I hope challenge you, maybe shift your perspective or spark something useful as you head into the weekend and the week ahead. I think of these episodes as mindset nudges. They're about cutting through the noise to ask better questions, be more intentional, and remind ourselves that leadership isn't about having it all figured out. It's about being willing to keep learning. I'll be honest, this change feels personal because this podcast isn't just something I make, it's something I grow through. I'm learning as much as you are through these episodes. And I think this is also a moment to learn of self-reflection. I've learned so much from every guest, from your feedback, from you. Every email, every message, every time someone shares an episode and says, this hit me exactly where I needed it, that's the fuel. That right there, that's the fuel. When people say it hit me where I needed it, that's what gets me going. That's the why, all the warms and the fuzzies. So before I go, I want to say thank you. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being curious. Thank you for being someone who cares enough about leadership to want to do it better every day. I'm grateful for you, and I'm honored to keep learning with you week after week. And now we're filling up the entire week, but with bite-sized chunks, so it's not overwhelming. The first themed episode will kick off in about a week or so, and I'd love for you to check them out and tell me what you think. That's what this is all about. So my email address, if you haven't used it yet, hello@russellolacher.com. Easy to find. So until then, I ask that you stay curious. I ask that you stay connected and keep working on those relationships at work, because those we're responsible for are expecting that from us as leaders, for us to improve, to get better, so we can help them improve and get better. I look forward to you joining me on this journey as I join you on yours. So that's it. That'll wrap up the episode around the new format, the new changes. I hope you're as excited as I am. I'm excited, but I also see the amount of work in it. But I think it's going to be really, really valuable for you and for me in approaching it this way. So I'm really curious to hear your thoughts. So please reach out to me. Please let me know how it works for you. But like I said, that'll do it for another episode, a mini episode, the last Thursday episode, because they're going to be out on Fridays starting in about a week or so. There's a repeat next week. I brought one back that's been very popular from the Raw Library that I think if you haven't caught it, I'm going to bring it back up again. I think really important insights to share. Needless to say, this has been Relationships at Work. It's a leadership podcast helping you build workplace connection, improve culture, and avoid blind spots. I'm Russel Lolacher as ever, and I look forward to spending some time with you again very, very soon. Take care.